Hello and welcome. My name is Errity Green. This is Wise Woman Television, and today I am bringing you a pick a card reading on your financial breakthrough, your success, all the details, how, when, what, all the things. So we will get started. I first encourage you to like and subscribe. Liking ensures other people see this video, and subscribing ensures your commitment to yourself. So make sure you press the bell icon. That way you get a notification every single time a video pops up. So let's dive right in. I will go ahead and put the 3 piles on the screen. That way you can make your intuitive choice. Which one is for you? And now we will jump in. So card pile 1, your financial breakthrough. We're going to talk about the themes of your breakthrough. That way you can identify it when it's happening, and or you can know the variables that are relevant so you can become more conscious and move through that journey intentionally, as well as what you need to do when this is coming, the advice and the outcome. Okay, so your financial breakthrough here. A lot of cards fell out, so I'm gonna see if I can get an overall picture. So I first want to share that what you want is coming to you. It is inevitable. It's not something that can't come to you or won't come to you or that's out of reach. Like, what you want is on its way, if not very close. Like, you feel like you're standing on it. It's right here. It's in your energy field. Like, it's ready to pop. So what you want comes to you, okay? I also want to share that there are just some things here that you're moving through in terms of transformation, clearing, integrating, that are shifting so that this bubble can pop, so to speak. Because again, you are stepping into a greater maturity and embodiment of your authentic self, your greater destiny, your greater legacy. So it's not something that can't not happen for you, but it does seem like, so like, right, you're right on top of it, and you're like just in the middle of a shift. So, so you're right on the cusp or the edge of this, but there's a transformation underway. And again, there's a lot here for you. Like, there's this dreamy kind of whimsical aspect to this, that like, everything that you're looking toward, everything that you see for yourself, all of that's possible, all of it's happening. Now there are a couple things that, again, that are a little bit unconscious. Maybe you're doing some shadow work right now, some inner work, some healing, something along those lines. There's something that's like, not in the way, because I don't even believe in blocks, it's like to the degree that we feel blocked, we are, but there's something that wants to be looked at here. We might even be able to get some detail, or we will throughout the reading. And as you're kind of maturing and growing into this greater embodiment of your true self, as well as your destiny, your financial breakthrough, you're seeing the way that you're seeing things, or the way that you see the world. This could even be like, has to do with scarcity and things like that. The way that you're seeing the world, something is not quite in full alignment when it comes to your vision, your perception, the way that you're seeing things. Okay, so your financial breakthrough comes when that shift is made, and because it's right here, already like in your hands, it will materialize more or less instantly. There's one final piece, it looks like, that's coming through. So we're probably gonna get, we're gonna get more detail right now. I was gonna say we'll get more detail as we go. So what you need to do then, how do you bring this through, this final poof that kind of brings everything into material reality? It has to do with beginning to see things through the eyes of love as opposed to judgment. Seeing things as they are without the perceptions of the past. Learning to see beyond the physical form, learning to see beyond even seeming or apparent limitation, and see to the heart, to the truth. And sometimes it's literally seeing things how they are, as opposed to how the projector in the back of our minds filters and perceives things as a result of our past, oftentimes our history with childhood or in childhood, things we inherited, or even things we experienced as children and didn't have the full understanding to navigate or process at that time, and so it's stuck. And these become, of course, our filters and perceptions as we go in life. And there's something here around what it is, or the way that you see things as a result of the past. So disappointments of the past, quote unquote failures in the past, things that haven't worked out, things that haven't happened for you. So there is some clearing work around that specifically, and I would go to work on that, go to town on that, because again, you're right on the cusp and the edge. It's like in your field, ready to burst. If you could just look at this one piece, acknowledge this one piece, recognize where you are perceiving things in this way as a result of the past, because once you get to the root of that, or the origin, and you become aware of it, and essentially once you become aware it no longer has power or influence over you unless you decide it does, you can begin to see things differently, perceive things differently, and then of course attract and receive things differently, right? Because we're seeing things in scarcity and assuming scarcity, showing up in scarcity, expecting scarcity, it's going to be difficult to experience anything but that, right? So you want to begin to see things from a new, clearer, truer lens for you. And especially as a spiritually empowered person, you're aware of the limitless abundance available to you. You stand in that abundance, you are that abundance. Nothing else has to be true except that. And so it's just this particular filter or perception has to do with your childhood, or the way that you saw something, or your parents did as a child, and it has continued to project throughout your life. So it's something to do with your projections, not seeing things fully as they are, or assuming the worst, expecting the disappointment, expecting the failure. Part of this also has to do with self-love, really seeing your true and whole full value, seeing how incredible and extraordinary you are, really owning your worth, really owning your value, and stepping into that, owning it like it can be no other way, because this is who I am, this is what I deserve, this is what I desire, this is what I require. So nothing else is going except, right, the reflection of my limitlessness. Nothing else is going down except for the honoring of all that I am. That reflection must be, because it is what is true. Now, I did forget to turn off my notifications, so we're back in business. I didn't want to be interrupted with notifications for the length of the reading. So owning your value, owning your worth, and beginning to take a look at where you're not owning your value and your worth, again, because of that old filter, those old perceptions, not being worthy, not being good enough, not being enough, and being used to disappointment, or maybe you had one big disappointment. And so shifting your filter and assuming something different. Now, you can't just positive affirmation your way out of this, okay? It has to connect and integrate on all levels, not just mentally and intellectually, but, through all the levels of, emotionally, physically, so on and so forth. So that's why I suggest really looking at any pains or experiences in the past that affected this perspective of not feeling like enough, or not feeling worthy enough, or that, inclines you towards seeing things in a scarce way and or expecting disappointment or failure. Looking at those, acknowledging those wounds, finding a way to resolve that and create closure for yourself. You don't have to wait for closure. Create the closure. Ritual, journal, light a candle, burn it, whatever you got to do, whatever you got to, right? Find the way to find the closure so you can move on, because that's what you need to do. Now, the how, again, is really connecting with, so we already, we got the what you need to actually do, and like sort of the extension of that, of course, is that really looking at those pieces that you're still holding on to that are no longer true for you, okay? They're not true for you anymore. They have to do with the past. They're not relevant for the now. So of course your job, your purpose, your mission, your calling at this point is to free and clear that. And of course the greater purpose then being that you step into a greater embodiment of your truth and power as a result of your journey to through this financial breakthrough. You discover more of yourself and more empowerment. And how is it going to come to, more specifically? There's a creative work that's underway, already happening, or that's going to come through for you. I don't know if you guys are artists, creatives, freelancers, if you do projects within your workplace, if you're employed, you own your own business, any number of things, because this is a group reading. However, it is saying it's through something creative. So maybe it could be a creative insight or idea, could be a creative project, it could be some expression of your own creativity, whether it happens on your own or under the umbrella of an employer. There's something here about your creative insight, inspiration, or expression that supports this financial breakthrough to come into being. So then the advice, though, is remembering to take breaks, to honor yourself, to rest, to relax on the journey, that receiving and being in a place to receive is just as important as like the doing and the taking those action steps and taking those steps toward what it is that you want, like the actual labor of manifestation. Remembering that part of the process is, stepping back, leaning back, allowing, and receiving. And like, that's part of owning your worth too, is I get to have all of this just because, I get to have all of this just because I've asked for it, just because I've claimed it, just because I said I wanted it, just because I'm owning it, not because I have to do all these things or prove myself worthy. And so part of your job then is, stepping back, leaning back, allowing yourself to be supported, allowing yourself to receive, because you alone, your existence alone is enough, is it, to call in your wealth as a result of the ownership of your worth. Because the overall outcome is then, not only do you receive this financial breakthrough, but you receive this greater knowingness of yourself, of your worth, of your value, of all that you are, beyond the illusions, beyond the limitations or seeming limitations, or all the things that you thought about yourself or the experiences of the past. You are able to fully own all that you are. Now, I do want to say, part of this was when, right? And I didn't touch on that, so I do want to say, when you are acutely aware of what it is that holds you back, you've identified these things, you've named these things, and so you're very clear on sort of these perceptions or filters that hold you back. When that happens, and then it paired with that creative work, that's when that financial breakthrough happens, okay? So doing that healing work, as well as actually launching and doing, or whatever the thing or the project is for you, that is what brings this financial breakthrough. It's tied to both this inner work as well as this external action on the creative insight, inspiration, or idea, or creative expression that you have. So that's it for you, pile 2. Or I'm sorry, this is pile 1. That's it for you, pile 1. That's your financial or success breakthrough. I encourage you to like and subscribe if this landed for you, or share your feedback or your story in the comments below. I also want to let you know I offer both personal readings as well as coaching sessions to support you on your path. So thank you, pile 1. I look forward to seeing you next time. Okay, so pile 2, your financial breakthrough. So we're going to talk about some of the themes here. We're going to talk about, let me see, I feel like I have an extra card here somewhere. Well, we'll trust that. I'll talk about some of the themes of your financial breakthrough. That way you can identify when it's happening, even accelerate the path, because now you know what you're working on and what you're working toward. We're going to talk about what you need to do when it happens, the advice, and then the outcome. Oh, that's why, the outcome. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about in terms of your financial breakthrough. So let's go ahead and take a look here. So there's something here. Your financial breakthrough comes as you are learning to sort of like, so the variables that are relevant for you are stepping out of the mind, stop listening to the mind, the clutter of the mind, the dialogue of the mind, the mental chatter, not letting that be a voice for you, not letting it be an influence for you. Connecting with you have a lot of themes here for you, pile 2. Pile 1 was very focused and like kind of linear, like focused on one variable. Pile 2, you have a little bit more happening here, but I am going to touch on each of these because it's all relevant to your financial breakthrough, okay? So learning to step outside of the mind and doing some emotional, even like shadow or inner work, and connecting with your inner child, okay? So I think all of these, just so you know, they seem sort of like disconnected, but as we move through the reading, I think the overall focus is going to become clear, okay? So as we move along, trust that this will all be connected, because I'm feeling like there's some inner child work here, some reconciliation or some rekindling with the inner child, like getting to know your yearnings and desires as a little child, letting yourself be innocent and free. There's something here about reconnecting to your inner child, and that's part of that inner work that I was just talking about, some emotional excavation, because there's some stuff, maybe even some heavier energy or things that are holding you back, some unresolved grief, some unexpressed pain, just a loss of innocence, even a loss of innocence from childhood or stolen innocence in some way. And because of that, and because some of these things haven't been looked at, you haven't been able to trust yourself either. So there's a series of things here, but it all has to do with this inner child healing that's being asked to be looked at, that as a result of that, you have some unexpressed pain and emotion and grief, unresolved grief, and this keeps you locked in the mind. because if you enter the body fully, you'll have to face and acknowledge this grief. So you tend to stay in your mind, and then your mind has a lot of chatter and a dialogue. And so not only was your innocence potentially even stolen or taken as a child based on whatever happened, this is a group reading and we didn't ask about that, so it's not touching on that. However, may become clear as we go, but ironically, the innocence of today is also being stolen. Because some of these things have not been addressed in childhood, or this deeper, this inner wounding, maybe trauma, pains, unresolved grief. Not only is it affecting your ability to trust yourself, which is affecting your financial breakthrough, it's also stealing your innocence today. So your innocence was stolen already as a kid, and because it hasn't been acknowledged yet, you're staying in the mind, the inner dialogue, you're not able to trust yourself, and so your innocence even today is being stolen, okay? In effect, indirectly. So your financial breakthrough it has something to do with, healing, excavating, freeing, liberating that inner child, that innocence, and coming to trust yourself again, okay? So what you need to actually do. This is sweet. So, stepping into that childlike, innocent spirit, becoming more playful, embodying more levity, and not taking things so seriously, not allowing everything to be such a heavy burden, or allowing everything to be so burdensome. Of course, part of that work, or the journey toward this then, is doing the excavation work so you can clear all of that old energy, old emotion, old grief. What I mean by clear is just acknowledge it, notice it, allow yourself to feel it. It will come up as it does. Life will support you to do the healing, especially if you've set those intentions for yourself. You can trust that it's happening, and then make a conscious choice to have fun, to enjoy yourself, to choose pleasure, to choose desire, to choose to move toward your desires, letting things be fun, playful, and innocent. So, allowing yourself to experience the childhood that you may not have been able to experience as a child, or to embody it more fully, okay? Because as you're stepping into the newness of this, that's when that financial breakthrough becomes available. It's when things aren't as heavy, when they aren't as burdensome, when there's not as much pain there or whatever, when you're able to clear some of that, and when you're stepping into this new version of you that is much more tapped into and connected to your inner child and your playful, fun, even like, I feel like entertainment, performer kind of spirit, when you can step more into like play and enjoyment and just having fun, or even like a performer, I feel like a performance, when you can step into that, that's when this financial breakthrough, boom, comes way easier. So when? Okay, so again, you're just integrating that inner child. That's it. So when do you experience this financial breakthrough? When you integrate that inner child, okay? When you allow that levity, that lightness, that playfulness, the joy, the lightly kind of tiptoeing through life, allowing yourself to have fun, just letting this all be like a game, a performance. Or even it could be that some of you are performers or artists or creatives, and in your work, instead of being so serious, you can actually just have fun and enjoy yourself and let this be really light, airy, fairy, and not something that's like super serious or even sincere, just letting yourself have fun. And that's when the light returns. The light returns to your path when you allow the light of the child, the inner child, to return to you. When the innocence that may have been stolen or taken, or maybe you just were, parentified as a child and you had to take on a lot of responsibility. A lot of firstborn children, I'm a firstborn child, experience that. And so whether or not, it was this dire situation for you, again, we're not actually jumping into the wound here. I do have deeper and even insightful kind of life path or even purpose readings on my channel that could speak to that more. But here is just focused on financial success, financial breakthrough. And so for you, the light returns when you step into and allow and integrate the inner child again. When it all can just be play, when it can be fun, gregarious, silly, when you're just allowing yourself to have a good time with it, and you're not putting so much weight on it, because that puts pressure on it, and then it prevents it from being able to manifest or materialize because everything feels so heavy, right? And so that even goes back to that initial, when we were talking about those initial themes. Even if you don't have a lot of confounded old emotional energy, right now as I'm moving through the reading, what feels even more relevant is like just not letting it feel so much pressure, not allowing it to feel so burdensome. It doesn't have to feel so burdensome. It doesn't feel like it has to be such a huge responsibility or this big thing. Letting it be playful, letting things be airy, letting energy move, right? That's what's going to bring about this financial breakthrough. Now, the advice then is, again, releasing the ties to the past. So those pieces that we already talked about in the very beginning of the reading, where we were talking about old emotional energies, even old pains or beliefs or whatever from childhood, whatever it was for you, where your innocence was stolen, or you had to grow up too quickly, or you had to mature more quickly, wherever that was lost, releasing your ties to the past. That doesn't have to weigh you down anymore. You don't have to be like the parent anymore. Even if you are a parent, right? You get to decide what you do now because you're the adult. Okay, so this gets to be as fun and lighthearted as you desire it to be. There's another card here that I want to pull. This is again, you get to decide whether this is fun or burdensome, heavy or light. So make that choice. As a child, things might have felt exceptionally burdensome because you were being forced into roles and hats that you weren't ready to play and weren't ready to wear. Okay, as an adult, you get to decide how your life goes. You get to create your life. You get to have the say. And when you tap into this inner child, you're going to connect with far more energy, and even just like I said, the playfulness, innocence, much light-hearted energy than perhaps the energy you're either embodying or carrying now, or even just the pressure that you're putting on yourself or whatever as a result of like this allegiance to duty and responsibility and all these things. It doesn't have to be that heavy. It can just be something fun. Okay, life can be fun, things can be easier, and so that's what's going to happen for you. And the beautiful part of this, like, so the final outcome is it's like a lightness. It's taking flight. You're able to soar, and you're able to call in the more abundance. And to me, it just feels so vibrant and radiant and alive and light. So such light energy, such that you're able to call in things much more easily, including money. You have that financial breakthrough because things aren't so heavy and dutiful and burdensome, right? That's all swept away. So like the energy just comes in so easily. The energy will fill open spaces. So when all this heaviness is cleared out, or even just like the sacred duty, responsibility kind of energy, when it's just fun, things come way more easier, including your manifestations. You get to soar, aim high, and you can soar toward that, right? Take flight. So that's your financial breakthrough or your success breakthrough. Pile 2, thank you for watching. I encourage you to like and subscribe if this resonated for you. I also encourage you to leave your story or your feedback in the comments if you'd like to share. I'd also like to let you know I offer both personal readings as well as coaching opportunities to support you on your life, work, and spiritual path, and to bring this reading to life. So thank you, Pile 2. Okay, Pile 3. We are talking about your financial breakthrough. So first we're going to talk about the themes of your financial breakthrough. That way you can identify when it's happening, as well as if you desire to bring it about consciously, you can accelerate that because you know what variables are playing a role. Then we're going to talk about what you need to do, when it happens, the advice, and the outcome, okay? So let me see that I pulled quite a few cards here, so I'm going to put together the story for you. Your financial breakthrough. Your financial breakthrough is a level of detachment or disidentification with your financial breakthrough, with your success. When you hold on too tightly, it makes it very difficult for it to come into your life because you're actually resisting it. By holding it on so tight, you're resisting the opposite outcome and thus then perpetuating the same thing, right? It's just like holding a bar of soap. When you hold that thing so tight, it slips out of your hands. You can't actually grasp it. Okay, so there's something here about holding, allowing, letting this be something that is held softly, not gripped on like with a death grip. And you can find some of this detachment and disidentification through meditation, quiet time out in nature. It's going to help you loosen some of that grip, loosening some of those old attachments, letting yourself be quiet with yourself and in silence, whether mindfulness, meditation, some kind of practice like that. It's going to help you loosen those attachments because it's saying that you are ripe for the financial breakthrough, okay? You are ripe for the financial breakthrough. as a result of your work in past lives, and even all the things, if you believe in that, if you don't, we can say it's the experiences from this life. So whether it's as a result of all of your work already put in this life or in past lives, you are ripe for the financial breakthrough. You are ripe for the harvest. You are ripe for the bounty. Like, it's going to happen. You have a big vision. It's all coming together. You know, this is a part of your destiny, so it's something that is inevitable and must and will happen. You've worked toward this, and that's undeniable. However, you just want to hold on to it more loosely. You want to hold on to it without a death grip so that it can come and just land in your lap really easily. I do also think for some of you, this may not be for all of you, but for some of you, your financial breakthrough comes as a result of collaborating with other people, partnering with other people. Could be a collaboration. It could be something that benefits or impacts people, but it's something about connecting with other people. Like, this isn't something that just happens on your own, right? It can, you know, and I don't want to impose that limitation on you, but this reading is saying for some of you, it has to do with this financial breakthrough comes when you're able to impact and benefit people in a certain way, and or when you join forces and come together in a collaboration with a certain group of people that brings about this change and or result that then leads to that financial breakthrough or financial success. Not going to be the case for everybody, but there's something here about involving other people, other parties. So what you need to do is, you already know, okay? So you're the source of your own path, your own knowledge, your own wisdom, your own intuition. I feel like for pile 3, you're already on the path. Otherwise, it wouldn't be here. It wouldn't have said that, you know, it's inevitable. It wouldn't have said that you've already worked your way to get here, this life and then another life. It just wouldn't be that clear, that obvious. You already know you're the source of everything. You're the source of your own financial successes. You get to decide. You get to claim it. You get to embody it. You get to call it in. So, you know, trust that. Trust that you are your own creator. Trust that you are a co-creator. Trust in your own power. Trust that you call the shots. Trust that you know the way, that you're on the way, that it is coming, okay? So there's a lot here, but you already have a really felt, known awareness of your own personal power, who you are in this world, what you came here to do. I feel like it's very relevant for you guys. Many of you might even be entrepreneurs, have your own business, your own purpose path, you know, artist, creative, visionary, innovator, things like that, working with other people, which would connect to that initial variable, making impact in other lives. That's where it's connected. So I feel like you already know to a degree where your financial breakthrough or where your financial success happens. So it's just a matter of trusting that and continuing to follow that, to own your power and to not hold on so tightly. Because for you, there's not like some other kind of personal block or something in the way. It's just that, you know, let go of the focus on that. Focus on what you love. Focus on living your life. Focusing on making impact, right, with your work in the world. Focusing on the great and good, you know, all the goodness you can offer and the greatness that you have to offer. Focus on like the benefit, the impact, how it is that you create change in this world, like the outcome that isn't the financial bottom line. Focus on more of that other bottom line in terms of manifesting your success. And that's where this is going to be able to sweep in, because it's just that you're focusing on it. You just need to let that go. Focus on the benefit, the impact, your vision, what you're here to do, how powerful you are, how powerful this vision is. It's ripe, it's here, it's ready to burst. So you just need to, you know, let the focus on that go. So then we talk about when. So when you're able to let that go of that focus, really trust yourself and just let shit fly and let shit be, that's when it happens. Okay? Let me pull another clarifier card here for you. You keep getting that today. So yeah, when you're able to just focus on, again, your work in the world, more of like the spiritual plane, like seeing through any illusion or falsehood or appearance of limitation, all those things that aren't true. When you're able just to, you know, see beyond that and instead recognize your power, your ownership, that your own mastery decides the kind of reality that you live and that you get to experience this financial success. Because, right, you wouldn't be holding on so tight if you trusted. You wouldn't be holding on so tight if you actually believed fully, 100%. You wouldn't be holding on so tight if you believed 100%, no qualms, no reservations about your own power. You wouldn't be holding on tight. So when you can just let that focus go, and again, focus on all those other things, your power, your vision, benefit, impact, you're your own master, all these things. When you can just focus on that stuff, this stuff sweeps right in very easily. Let me see if there's anything else that wants to come through on these other messages that are sitting here. Like letting this be fun, letting it be playful, letting it be light, not letting it be like something that's difficult or whatever, or painstaking. If you can also just like own your value, own your worth, own your power, recognize how your uniqueness plays into your role and your power and your ongoing success and financial breakthrough, that's going to be supportive for you. So the final pieces here are the advice and the outcomes. So advice is not looking to the outside world, the world of limitation, for any kind of affirmation or validation of your success. Your success starts here. It starts within. It starts with what you already know, what you already trust in, what you already believe to be true, what you know you're capable of, looking more toward your inner than your outer, okay? Because we're seeing a couple similar visions here too, and I want to show you this. So notice her eyes are closed, her eyes are closed. We see like the galaxy here, we see this picture here that's very similar. You know, it's very much about the inner. Similar, you know, the moon image here. So we're seeing a lot of similar imagery around this, that trusting in your own power, your own cosmicness, you know. I have the tattoo right here. Everything in the universe is within you. So tapping into that abundance, that knowing, and standing convicted in that is going to support you, and just living your life. Living your life. Have fun. You know, so we were talking earlier, taking focus off the death grip on the financial breakthrough. Live your life, attend to your life, chop wood, carry water. You know, do the dishes, take care of the kids if that's a part of your life. Netflix, meditate, go out, you know, take a walk, spend time with your animals, whatever it is that you love to do, dance, sing, express yourself, letting this be fun, light, playful, letting this just be your life. Your financial success is not your life. Your life is your life. Let that be a part of your life. When you can take your focus off of that and just chop wood, carry water, that's when, boom, this comes through. You looked away for a second, totally forgot about it. It wasn't even a thing, because now you trust, and boom, it lands in your lap. Because what happens? You trusted, and what happens as a result? It always makes me cry. Celebration. It comes through. That windfall of abundance comes through. That financial support comes through, that financial breakthrough, that success breakthrough comes through because you chose to leap. You let go. You let go. You stopped with the focus. You stopped with the death grip, the stronghold on the breakthrough, because you actually trusted yourself, your power, your own authority, your desires, God, divine, great spirit. You chose to trust, aka you were able to take your focus off of that and just be true to yourself, live your life, and enjoy what's right here in your present moment. And enjoy the work that you do and the benefit and the impact that you make on the world. So that's your financial breakthrough, pile 3. Thank you for watching. I encourage you, if this landed for you, to like and subscribe or share your feedback or your story below. I do also want to let you know that I offer both coaching sessions as well as personal readings to support you on your life, work, and spiritual path, as well as to bring this reading to life. So thank you, pile 3, and I look forward to seeing you next time.